Ka tsaya sebaka se go dumedise bile go ga amogela mo thulageng ya rona beke le beke ya metshameko e bidwa ya lo sport le tsediwang ke miri online channels ya lo maina ke Kabelo Boradabi gakologala re motswane etso mo bekeng ye re tswa mo gone kana ke re mafelo a beke e hitileng yalo setlhopha sa bomme sa G.U ya ke re Gaborone United the Red Roses ka ba buiwa yalo bana ba hetsa maemo a bobedi go kgaisano yele ya CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA region qualifiers le tshwaretswa ka go Malawi for the past 2 weeks yalo gakologala re ile after motshameko wa final after the Red Ladies alo ka the Red Roses alo ba latlhagela mo motshameko wa makgaola khanya the final match against University of West Cape ya la South Africa gakologala gore go nagana le dikganya re bone mokwalo tswa ka go COSAFA yalo re bone the Reds le bone ga gara beke ya ba bua se ba se bua ka go phutego ya bebe ga dikgaka ke press conference mo tsatsing la boraro mme mo tsatsing la gompieno motswanetse ke na le Mmolawa le general team manager ka go setlhopheng sa bomme sa G.U Mmolawa, welcome to the show.
Ke le borare boranabi gore be o re bileditse ka kwana mme ke dumedise batswana le hatselote ka kakaretso ke dumedise balatedi ba thulaganyo ya sport on e re ratang thata
mme Mmolawa gongwe motswala ka batla go itse gore re bone mokwalo o tswa pele ka go COSAFA di tla ra ipotsa re le rona re le batswana re ba bega digamolo mo involved mo sporteng yalo tsa re mokwalo ka tswa ba kile mme re le bona ka la borra le re biditse yalo ka go training facility yalo na setlhophalo mme a go re ka simolla ka wena gore what transpired ka go Malawi se se rile gore se spake all these issues.
Well, thank you. I think maybe re ka simolla go go tshwaileng gore G.U Lanta ya ko COSAFA mo ka teng CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifier. Maybe I should just take a summarized journey ya rona go yakwa. Remember we are the DTCB champions locally, so gore by virtue of that we earn a berth to qualify for COSAFA to represent the country. We went there, we played in the group stages, we in Group B. The first game we drew 0-0 against UD Lichinga from Mozambique. The second game we played against Young Buffaloes from Eswatini, we drew 1-1. The third game we won 3-2 against the hosts, being Accent Academy from Malawi. Then we went on to win 1-0 against the Herentals Queens in the semi-finals. Going into the finals, we played 1-1 in regular and extra time. Then thereafter followed a very tense penalty shootout. Of course, football is a sport of emotions. Emotions, of course, that are based on fairness and equity for all teams, or just. So, the decision during the penalty shootout in particular the penalty that was saved and ultimately became the result of the final match. So we tried to raise that issue, fully aware that traditionally the decision of the referee is considered to be final. But we are raising awareness that we are aware of what happened there. Of course, it's a decision of the match officials, the decision of the referee, but we are aware. Just that COSAFA, where they are, with the rot and corruption that is within their office, how they have been doing things, how they have monopolized that office, that secretariat with South Africans. They think COSAFA belongs to South Africa. So they are not used to member clubs or member associations that question that monopoly. So that statement simply shows you that COSAFA is experiencing a shock of to say who are these ones? Who are these ones? Who are these ones to question the status quo? Who are these ones to try to take the monster within COSAFA head on? But we are happy our voice was heard. We raised our voice in a just and proper way.
Me a re tswela lo Mmolawa COSAFA ne supa gore gore o file lo protesta lo tshotse re botla e patile ke madi a kana ka $2,000 alo ile protesta te tshotse go ira within nako e kae after motshameko yalo ibile ga kologalo gore ha ba bua le bona ba bua gore no protest shall be considered after the winner of the CAF Women's Champions League qualifier has been proclaimed. Se se ra go so re protesta lona ne nkare ha ha ena bole ebile kana go ya ka ke a le tswala maduo. Why did you decide to sojourn le protester there le bile gore ha re le bile re kana se re benefit sepe re le Gaborone United or ka re se re compensate ka sepero?
Well, formally we have not protested, largely because we know, we are part of football, we know. The decisions of the referee, these are the regulations are. The regulations, they tell you you have the right to protest. But because you don't read the regulations in isolation or the particular articles, you read the whole document in totality so that you can be able to have a clear picture and position. There's a part that talks about protest. Well and good, you lays down the process to protest. Then there goes another part. That part now talks about the decision of the referee being final. So if I'm going to protest about a decision of the referee, under the laid out procedures, I pay you your 2,000. I do that within the stipulated time. I see the match commissioner. Then there's another clause waiting for me there.
Referee decision is final.
The referee's decision is final. I mean, it's football. I mean, but we raised an awareness. We wrote to COSAFA as a complaint. Remember the difference between a protest and a complaint. We raised a complaint to say this is how we are treated. We wanted to make you guys aware that we saw this mistreatment, we saw this unfairness, we saw this corruption that is happening within COSAFA. Yeah.
Ho bua le ka treatment ale ka kologala re ka phutha ga bega di khayo ka press conference le tshwara ga rabe ke ne la bua gore issue ne se game yo hele no gona di issue tse di surroundile yone ka ne le tsholegile ka te yo lodging, your transport, your training schedules and everything about that. O ka re gongwe o ka tshwela gore mo go tswa di bile gongwe did impact ile yang ahead of the final or re palle go re re iphitlhelele gore G.U are the first local team or we ipona go di final tsa CAF Champions League?
Well, there were challenges away from that particular incident that we have been discussing. But before we get into those challenges, maybe we must commend our players for the mental resilience, the mental tenacity they showed, for them to be able to even reach the finals as a start. But other challenges surrounds South African teams, or South African team in particular, being given a preferential treatment, being given that superiority over other teams, whether it comes to training venue, whether it comes to where they are lodging. They had their own place where they were lodging. We are just with other teams there. Seven other teams that side. They don't queue for anything. They just have things their own way, their own time. But they seven, you follow the schedule so that you accommodate other 6 teams if you are the 7th one. So that from our view forms part of unfairness in a competition. If COSAFA belongs to all the member associations, the 14 member associations, all the teams from COSAFA must be treated equally. South African teams must not feel they're superior over any other team. But they do feel that way because they are being influenced, and this thing is done from Secretariat of COSAFA. So that is other things that we mentioned to say, going forward, COSAFA must improve. COSAFA must be willing to listen to this feedback. It's constructive. It helps them to improve how they organize competitions going forward. It's not feedback or criticism to kill them. It's not criticism to draw them back. Rather, it's criticism that they must take as constructive and feedback so that they improve going forward.
All right. Ke re motswadi o tsetse ke na le ene o Mmolawa le general team manager ya lo ka go stepeng sa bo mme sa Gaborone United ya lo re tsore ya lo di khantse di ba tsaka tsone ka go Mmolawa Blantyre after yone the CAF Women Champions League COSAFA region qualifiers ya lo. Let's go for a short break re tla tswetsa thulago ya rona mtsotse se di setbe.
Have you downloaded BW News app? your one-stop shop for Botswana's leading newspapers. If not, what are you waiting for? Start reading the print editions of Botswana's leading newspapers as they appear in the newspapers on any device. The BW News app features the Midweek Sun, Botswana Guardian, Mehi, and the Monitor, updated in an easy-to-flip-through format once the papers are printed. Our packages include current affairs, which creates seamless access for one organizational setup. You can add up to 100 users at affordable rates. After subscription, you will have access to our PDF archive from the past 1 year. You will also receive notifications on your phone as soon as the newspapers publish. You can open your favorite title and share it in text format, and also change the font size and screen light to your choosing. Too busy to flip through and read? The BW News app will read the article for you, and it can also translate from English to the language you're comfortable with. Get the BW News app from the Google Play Store and the App Store and enter a world of up-to-date news presented as it appears in the physical paper.
tse sebaka se go go amogela ebile go lebogela gore bo sentse itisele rona mo thulago ya rona sport ona go tsatsi la gompieno a Friday wa tsatsi la gompieno alo gakologela re setse ke na le ene o we Mmolawa ka go tswa ka go Gaborone United Women's Team yalo ele general team manager yalo re bua ka CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers le tse di ba computer mo go tswa mo bigere sa tswa go tswa bo gone yalo o wena o bua ka ona gore there's a rot between within the COSAFA secretariat o ka re go ngwelele tlabo complaint ya lona ya lo ha ile be ka mosing go a kopela gore maybe might be fine gore le unfairly treated go a kopela lo o gongwe le ka FISA sections alo kana sengwe sa mutomelo ya reng e bila le safe from there.
I don't think there will be sanctions for the club for raising complaints. Like we just said, complaints that improve COSAFA. Can we be sanctioned for giving feedback? Can we be sanctioned for raising areas or points of improvement? That would be very unfortunate, and that would be very unfortunate to come from COSAFA, but I don't think that will happen.
Bari go sideline you kana go tsawa ka letsogo la molema go a kopela le gongwe le bile gore wa tlasala batho ba le mo office le bona ba rule office bua ka team ya bone go ya kopela lo is not a fear to your club gore gongwe le ka ipitla le tsere ka le ba go la molema ke the regional motherboard.
There are prices to be paid. There are sacrifices to be paid. In every setup, the voice that comes out to call out maladministration, just to be sidelined, there will be repercussions, of course. But for us as a club, we are prepared for anything that may come our way, because we are doing this from a point of good faith, so that we improve the competition. Because if we choose to remain mum, we choose to remain silent on these issues, then that means even going forward, this will continue, the rot will continue. Who will benefit? Then the sport won't benefit. Yeah.
Going forward, go host a good tournament. Look at how you are. Let's stop. Look at let's look at Botswana Football Association. Let's super. Let's recommend that Geragirialo or Bakatis tournament. They can go in the next year. Ogaro Homo Libida really has a really top as about Mecano National Alo. Holibile Regaira as a better than so when I go home blood chamala.
Well, to be honest, we have, like you just said, we have written to Botswana Football Association to recommend and advise them to host, to bid to host the next year's qualifiers, because our experience there, we are in a pole position. We have everything, the requisite everything needed to deliver a successful tournament, to host a successful tournament. You talk about our transport system here, our airport and everything. It's accessible. Flights are always there. There's no problem around those issues. You talk about our accommodation. There's so much more that we offer around issues of accommodation and hospitality. You talk about the training facilities we have here. There's so much more. You talk about the match venues. There's so much more. So for us, comparing the standard that we saw there and knowing what we can offer as a country, we feel we are in a pole position to hold that tournament and be able to sell, even the country, be able to show the the capability of the country from as small as these regional tournaments that indeed we are capable of hosting. We need to augment and help the government around issues of sports tourism. And sports tourism also involves hosting this kind of events so that you bring all these people here. Now they get into that mix. Yeah.
With the complaint il hapela ha officer COSAFA lo ba setse ba itse wa re gona le GU ba setse ba itse Botswana lo ha re ka tsenya a bid to host alo wa ra re gongwe se wa ka sa rama our chances tsa gore re ka betlela re win bid amuto.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Ya no ra go pela re bile bona ba tshameki di shitsa di iragalalo. You talked about, you mentioned this ka bokhutswanela mental strength a bona lo bone ya bo bua le bona lo o bua le coach a bona ba ntse ya di shitsa di iragalalo re kana we tried le ona le try le mo lebale yalo, but this is what happened, these are the issues. What was the responsibility going ahead go le ba ka le ba tshameki ba go dile go le kae ka ba impacted go le kae ka ditirago tse di raratseng?
Well, they were disappointed, just like any other football player. Players get into the field to win. They play to win matches. So, regardless of how things transpired, but they were disappointed. But then on the other hand, they were also grateful and appreciative that this is the first attempt of the club at that kind of a stage. It was our debut appearance at the COSAFA qualifiers, and going straight to the finals on our debut appearance. Also, we need to appreciate and give them that appreciation for their efforts. Going forward, Rabona Kola, they have grown so much. Now they even appreciate the level there, the COSAFA qualifiers and the level back here. Now they know they need to come back home, work extra hard, put more effort so that next year we surpass where we are right now, because we are an ambitious club. Our ambition is still there, and our ambition is to win the COSAFA qualifier so that we can be able to play at the CAF Champions League. That is the ambition we are carrying as the club.
All right. Rome Mmolawa go tswa ka Gaborone United go team ya bo mme ya the Red Roses kana Gaborone United Ladies Team ya lo tle re tise mo le ene mo letsatsi la gompieno alo ka re bua ka short break re tla tswela re bua ka thulaganyaro.
Do you want to stay in touch with the up-to-the-minute breaking news, countrywide, regional and international coverage, as well as in-depth analysis from Botswana's most trusted media house? Then head over to www.megi.bw, where you can also enjoy access to premium articles, long reads, features, and exclusive opinions. Whether you're looking for updates on politics, health, education, business and the economy, or sports, and many more, we have you covered. Sign up on the website and choose a package suitable for you. We also have packages for organizations at affordable rates. Visit www.megi.bw and enjoy the finest journalism and news you need to know.
Ka go tsese ba ka se go ga mogela gape bile go le bogelo re bo sentse itisele rona mothula ya rona sport one re na le ba Gaborone United alo re etetswe ke re Mmolawa ele general team manager team ya bomme ya lo a re bua ka setlhophalo. Mmolawa a re lebeletse team ya bomme within a short period motho a ka bala go since COVID 3 to 4 years ya lo GU has ascended from the Division 1 league to the league ya tona ya bomme ya lo mo di region re tswa re tshameka mo di region ya Division 1 ya Gaborone alo even in a short period GU tshameka mo regional qualifiers ala tsa COSAFA alo o ka re gongwe se different se le se rileng mo bolwe ya bomme se di tletsele se se iriwe se se irile re se tlhopha within a short period from a small club in women football circles to a big club alo o ka re ke se what has been the secret behind GU success?
Well, thank you. Post COVID, we sat down as a football club. Then we developed a strategic plan to say where do we want to see the club as a whole in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. And this strategic plan is subject to review each and every 2 years. Part of the football club that we have is the senior team. the ladies team and our developmental sides, being under 13, under 15, under 17. Then we agreed that we need to pump more resources and also try to bring the ladies team closer to where we have the senior team. That involved now giving it more attention, more resources, and we helped it to come back now to Division 1. It's more Division 1, then we started to say, what's the next step? We recruited quality, the depth that we need so that we can be able to compete for the honors. Then the first season, it was still there and there. Then the second season, we intensify the recruitment. That's when we won the league. We went on to win the TCB National Championships. But it's not yet there. We need to dominate. We are building a team that should dominate locally, that should be a consistent and frequent competitor at CAF and COSAFA competitions. That is the objective of the team. But now looking back, if you ask me, looking back where we are right now, I think we are on the right track. We are on the right path. So we just need to follow as the strategic plan, say, dictate, eventually we'll get where we want the team to be.
Moaga, you are to be a great side. I leave it compete at level into outside the country. Indeed, the best arsenal you can have more penyalo, Melorigago, Hanyawari, Molahatala Ronaldo, Bobulia Ronaldo, me hardly an international players, but me. Harako COSAFA, little some guy teams, or Banana, the player, the Jogma, and probably Gaborone United was one of the few clubs that did some all local based players. Is it time for Mela change the Leicester Power's position on that, on the international side of international players?
Well, we are the only side competing with 100% local players. Yes. Because other teams have the privilege from their jurisdictions and the regulations that they can have foreign players. But we are not taking this under any other pressure. But as a club, as a member club, we'll, at the right forums, at the right platforms, we'll engage the association to advise and see if our regulations cannot be amended to allow foreign players to be registered into our local league. But remember, the first step should start here, is to consolidate these regional leagues into a national league. Yes. Then it will be easier to have foreign players. But where we are right now, at the level where we are with the regional leagues, it becomes difficult to say you can subject it to some foreign infiltration. Then once we have a national league, then we can move from being total amateurs to maybe amateurs with contracts before we get to professionals. So is to take it step by step, hoping that we consolidate this into national leagues, maybe by block, northern block or southern block. Then from there we can have foreign players.
Bolo has been a great export of players. Around 5, 6, 7 match recently Gaborone United contributing the exporter the defender to take here tournament Malawi tournament player most of Gaborone United is the team in talks with anybody? Are expecting any movements sometimes?
Well, yeah, the team internally right now, the negotiations we are doing with around 3 clubs from better and professional setups than ours. They're interested in our players, Baba Boni from the COSAFA qualifiers. But like Rona, our position as a club is that we want our players to go and play at better professional leagues than ours, provided their welfare, they're happy with the welfare issues there, the offers they're getting are the ones that they're happy on. Or we don't want a situation to rush to get players outside. The offer and the conditions there are far off from what we are giving them, or even lower than what we are giving them. So yeah, the negotiations we are having with clubs at the right time, the club will make such pronouncements or what is happening around that
is the club in a position to at least be interested to if
there's interest from South Africa, there's interest from Sweden. Yeah. 2 clubs from South Africa, 1 from Sweden.
Good money.
Well, we haven't got there about saying if it's good money. They're still following the right procedures. Money comes there, but since on a process pele to know is this thing legitimate? What do they want? Let's when declare to engage them or kind of there is this interest. What do you have to say?
Gaborone United competition in the future ahead.
Well, maybe to wrap up is to say women's football is the future of football. If you look at the hype, if you look at the coverage, if you look at the publicity around it, it shows you that this is the future of football. The resources that are being pumped in for investment shows you that women's football is the future. And as Gaborone United, we are following that route. We are getting ourselves closer to that truth so that Leonardo can contribute that to the empowerment of the girl child and also be able to unearth talent, because we have so many talented players in Botswana. We just need to be able to organize them properly, provide a better platform for them with proper welfare conditions, well-resourced, so that they can showcase their talent to the rest of the world. So maybe as the parting shot to our supporters is to assure them that this season we are back again. We are back in the transfer market to beef up the squad, and we are not apologetic. We'll be beefing up the squad with the proper depth that we believe will help us to compete locally, regionally, and continentally. Now when we recruit, we are looking at the stages. Thank you. Thank you.
Gaborone United Ladies Team before and during after the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA region qualifiers Gaborone United the lateral the penalty shootout it was a good hunt for the team. 3 of our players Gaborone United voted to the best 11 the left back the striker ya no Modise Jessica ya no Modise le attacking midfielder ke Ben 10 Ditebe she was voted the best player of the tournament becoming the second Motswana to do that after Bonetsaratari with double action out of the last season. Motswana e tshone le thulaganya rona sport mo tsara o mpeno me ina ke ka bela borana until next time.